All right, people, have a look at this. This is the United Kingdom in 1950. Only 5 mosques across the UK in 1950. Fast forward 75, 76 years later, that's how many mosques there are in the UK. There's so many Muslims in the UK now that these mosques apparently are not enough, that they have to pray on the streets. So there is no doubt that the United Kingdom and the West in general is getting Islamized in real time. But we still have so many people who deny this, like Piers Morgan, who said this, who called Benjamin Netanyahu an idiot after he made this comment.
אגב, הוא ואבא שלו, רנדולף, הבן של צ'רצ'יל, באו וכיסו כאן את מלחמת ששת הימים בצורה מאוד חיובית לנו. לך תמצא את זה בבריטניה עכשיו. שנקרא ברפובליקה האסלאמית של בריטניה, לך תמצא את זה.
It's true. It's the Islamic Republic of Britain, remember? J.D. Vance said that the UK is going to be the first Islamist country with nukes. Yeah, Pakistan has nuclear weapons, but Pakistan is not an Islamist country, at least on paper. It's not. Not at least on paper, it is not. There are real Islamists in Pakistan who are far, far away from the Pakistani state, okay? But don't worry about Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan has a past track record of saying the popular things, saying the acceptable things or politically correct things as long as he can. And when the public sentiment shifts, he just turns around and says, oops, sorry, I have changed my mind in light of better evidence. So he's going to keep saying, no, there is no Islamization of Britain. You're racist. Don't say that. This is wrong, blah, 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 until he can no longer hold that position. And then he will suddenly say, oops, sorry, I changed my mind. But have a look at this. So on the one hand, people are seeing this, yeah? This is what Britain looks like now, yeah? So many mosques. On the other hand, you see illegal migrants coming into the UK every single day. And Britain as a society has just woken up to the reality that it is no longer a conspiracy theory that Muslim men, mostly of Pakistani origin, groomed and raped British girls on an industrial scale, tens of thousands of girls, okay? So now it's no longer a dispute. Even the Labour Party acknowledges that it did happen, and it has promised deeper investigations into who controlled it, how many people got away with it, how many people actually covered it up, how many people in the police force and the political establishment were actually involved in covering it up, blah, blah, blah. I don't trust them, but at least there is an acknowledgement that it did happen. So, okay, British society is just coming to grips with it, which is the reason why more and more mainstream British people are now starting to speak up against this adulteration or contamination of British society and British culture. Okay, it's only going to heat up. So we've got very busy 10 years ahead of us. And then on the other hand, every single day we wake up to news stories like this. Check this out. Afghan migrants held women down and raped her at knife point in London Park. This is what British society is reduced to. A woman just going about taking a walk, and guess what? She runs into 2 horny men from extremely patriarchal societies, and you get raped. Okay, it's not an isolated incident. Look at this. I have to share this. This is Emily Culverhouse, and I understand that lawyers do have to defend even criminals, but come on. I have watched the show The Lincoln Lawyer, yeah? I've watched the show Suits. I also think that even lawyers, even defense lawyers, can have some sort of a moral compass, yeah? Look at this. She's a woman, Emily Culverhouse, and she defended those 2 Afghan rapists, and she called the victim a prostitute. Okay, anyway, so this is why the public is getting angry and British society is waking up. Look at this. In Ireland, a woman leaving Galway train station was grabbed by 2 migrant men, dragged into the car park, and gang raped. The 2 men are unidentified, but are using an Arabic interpreter in court. How many more women you want to suffer, yeah? Which is why the new IRA is issuing threats of civil war. They're saying kick every migrant person out of the Republic of Ireland, or else they'll take matters into their own hands. This is going to be ugly and horrible, and I don't want to even imagine what kind of a society that would be. But we warned you. We warned you. This is what happens when you import chaos into your own society. What do you think will happen? This is nothing new. And this is not us defending them. This is just us, not me, everyone. Anyone who's ever read history will tell you this is exactly what happens when you bring in chaos. Look at this.
3 girls, 3 13-year-old girls, and 1 13-year-old boy.
A boy too. That's what they're doing on a scale. Look at all of this just happened in August, guys. August. This is all August. We haven't even gone halfway through August, yeah? At the time of recording of this video, it's 14th of August. Look at this. Another one. And another one. And another one. So it just keeps happening. It just doesn't stop. Now zoom out a little bit, yeah? And look at the entire British society. So, of course, you have some people who are watching all of this, who are watching the disintegration of their culture and society and identity and their way of life. So they say, whoa, wait a minute. Something is not right, okay? Our society is no longer how it used to be. Why is that? Oh, okay, we've imported too many cultures. Okay, then you look into cultures, okay, are the Hindus doing this? Are the Buddhists doing this? Are the Chinese or the Hong Kongers doing this? No, not really. There's one particular culture, regardless of their nationality, whether you're an Afghan or a Pakistani or a Syrian or a Moroccan. Culturally, nationally, geographically, these countries are not connected, but they are connected through one ideology. That is Islam. And on top of that, the representatives of that ideology, i.e. the so-called Muslim dawagandist or Islamic scholars. I know a lot of people have a problem with that word scholar for these Muslim scholars, because I remember Richard Dawkins once said that in order to be a scholar, you have to have read more than one book, because Muslim scholars have only read one book, the Quran, or one subject. Anyway, and they're constantly telling you that we are united by this bond of Islam, the Muslim Ummah, are one people, it's a one body part, one moving part, and we should all be working towards the advancement of the Islamic agenda. And this is why we have the Muslim Brotherhood actively engaged in America. They are very busy pushing forward their Muslim candidates. And it's the same things happening in Britain, France, Germany, Spain. So some people like Tommy Robinson or Kelly J are speaking up against this adulteration of their culture. This is what Kelly J said in the last Unite the Kingdom rally. Watch what she said.
It's not too late to get Islam out of our classrooms. It's not too late to get Islam out of that building.
House of Commons.
It is not too late to get Islam out of every single official office in this country. And more than not too late, it is absolutely vital. If we want to save this country, we have to remove Islam from every single place of authority.
You know how she just said Islam, which is just an ideology? Imagine if she had said Nazism, fascism, communism. Everything would have been okay. But guess what? Two-tier police, well, which is, you know, it's the British establishment, okay? Like, they have literally every single ruling elite of the West has destroyed the West. Every single one of them. It's happening here in Australia too. But we are 5 years behind, so we do have a bit of an edge. Pauline Hanson is rising, and people are not as oblivious as the people of Britain were. You got to remember, you got to give them a bit of a benefit of the doubt. They were the first ones to fall for it. They're like, oh, yeah, we're all equal. That's okay. I can pay my bills. Everything's fine. Huh? This monster has been growing for the last 20, 30 years, and we just didn't pay any attention because we thought life is good. But then suddenly the monster comes out and said, hey, I'm Islam. You cannot criticize my religion. Hey, Prime Minister Tuti Akia, introduce the age-old blasphemy laws. And then, so British people are waking up and they're speaking up. And the IRA is threatening civil war. I mean, this shit is real, guys. So the British establishment has now told Kelly J. King, who is outside of Britain at the moment, that she will be arrested for the comments she made in Unite the Kingdom rally. Listen to her.
Hello, good afternoon. Hi. Yeah, all good, thank you.
Thank you for responding to our letter. So we would like to invite you in for a voluntary interview in regards to two separate investigations. It would be at a London police station and would be a day and time of your choosing.
Okay, what for?
So the two allegations are from your Unite the Kingdom rally. There's been a complaint with regards to your speech, specifically with regards to the we need to remove Islam from our classrooms. It's not too late to get Islam out of that building. It's not too late to get Islam out of every single official office in this country. And more than that, it's too late. It's not too late. It's absolutely vital. If we want to save this country, we have to remove Islam from every single place of authority.
Oh my goodness, guys. He literally quoted that part. She didn't say Muslim. She said Islam. Just imagine if she said it, anything else. Wasn't it so cool back in the new atheist movement days in the early 2000s? Like, oh, Christianity, we need to get Christianity out of our school. That was the heyday of my youth. I was listening to Sam Harris and Christopher Hitchens and Richard Dawkins. That's when they were celebrated by the entire civilization. That this is a new age. We are entering the new era of Western civilization. We truly become secular. And now, is this the end result? An English police officer now is saying that you have to come in and explain yourself. Why did you say that we have to get Islam out of our society or out of our public buildings? What's wrong with that? These are the dying flutterings of a sick creature.
Oh, okay.
And the other one investigation is in relation to some tweets.
Oh,
so
tweets.
It is in relation to a tweet from the 23rd of June. We have Muslim fatigue, the gang rapes, the terrorism, the killing of little girls who enjoy music, the hatred of women and girls, the special reports, the anti-Semitism, the hate preachers, the marches, the violence, the call to prayer, the public prayers, the complaining about Christian preachers, the pauses in football matches, skipping lunch, the niqabs, the school kids visiting mosques, the Ramadan lights, the Ramadan messages on TV and by public figures, the cruel slaughter, the hatred of the West, the hatred of women, the barbarism, the inbreeding, the censorship,
Beautiful
the
tweet.
two-tier system, the capture of our institutions. We're tired of it. Islam is a vile, woman-hating, cousin-marrying, child-raising death cult. Another tweet from the 23rd of June. There's nothing about the scene that does not scream backwards, regressive, subnormal culture.
I would have said subhuman.
And another one from...
Which scene was that?
I'm not sure what scene in particular that you're responding to in that tweet, but I'm just reading out the...
Yeah, it would be those Shia Muslim women and men are topless and beating themselves up like lunatics, and women, obviously, in those bin bags walking around. That would be it. What's wrong with that? Guys, what's wrong with that? You know what? This is why I think that this is so random. I have said far worse things, and I'm like, when am I going to get a call? Thankfully, I live in Australia. You know, if I was living in England, maybe I would have had a call by now. I don't know. That tells us something. This is the future of every single Western liberal democracy. If the current trajectory continues, if our trajectory of evolution keeps going in the direction Britain has been going in for the last 25, 30 years, this is the only logical conclusion. It's going to happen in Australia as well. This is why we need to turn up the heat now. Call Islam out now. Because if you stay quiet now, that will embolden Anthony Albanese, who, by the way, he's also looking to bring in the Islamophobia definition and which is a de facto blasphemy law. Hate speech law was passed after an Islamist killed 25 Aussies. Yeah? But for some reason, I thought that I would be a target of that, but for some reason it hasn't happened because it's so unconstitutional. How can you tell me I cannot say that Islam is the most barbaric, inhumane, primitive religion and it has no place in the 21st century? How can you tell me don't say it? You can't. If they tell me you can't say it, other people will say it. And it's just going to get bigger and bigger. So it is a bit of a catch-22 for these people. They can't do anything. They're screwed if they come after us, and they are screwed if they don't shut us down. Because the truth is bigger than everything. The only reason why I'm saying this is because it's true, or I believe it. If I was a lunatic, and people like me are just lunatics who are just saying these things which are completely baseless, then people wouldn't listen to us. Guess what? Nobody paid attention to Pauline Hanson for 30 years. For 30 years. You know why nobody paid any attention to Pauline Hanson about the adulteration or contamination of the Australian way of life? You know why nobody paid any attention? Because at that time it wasn't making a difference. There was no visible difference. That's why nobody listened to Pauline Hanson. But now everyone's saying, oh, hang on a second. Muslim, an immigrant, Muslim. Like, what the hell? So anyway, this is a long video, 6 minutes long. So I'll just end it here. So anyway, so this is what's happening, guys. You got to speak up. If you don't speak up now, you may not get a chance later on, at least without any intimidation tactics by the government. I am a full-time activist, so I can withstand any government's intimidation tactics, but obviously it will have a cost, and I'll have to pay a price for it. I don't want to be arrested. I don't want to go to jail for any reason. But my point is, I can withstand that as a full-time activist, but I wouldn't have to do it if more and more people jump on Twitter. X is the most important platform. Please jump on that. And you have to speak up. United we stand, the harder it is for them to take us down.